All right, today we're going to look at a group of items from a gentleman in Oklahoma who had been in Vietnam, been part of the U.S. Navy. And this first item here is a 1968 M65 field coat that was made by Alpha Industries. Now, most of the time, I don't bother to buy M65 field coats anymore. They're a very common item, and I rarely buy them, only if they're in mint condition or they've got some really interesting patches on them. So when we look at the front of this one here, it's certainly not in mint condition. You got paint splatter on there, some stains, kind of dingy looking, no patches on it. So you may ask, why'd I bother to buy it? Well, the whole reason was what's on the back here. As I had said, he had been in the Navy, and in particular he had been part of the Navy Seabees. You know, Seabees for Construction Battalion. And they had been sending small numbers of the Seabees over to Vietnam pretty early on, mainly to build some of the special forces camps and dealing with the logistics of roads and so forth. Well, in 1965, they brought in what was the biggest group of Seabees since World War II had ended. And we see on this artwork here, it says Seabees, and it says Chu Lai, Republic of Vietnam. Well, Chu Lai was where, along with the Marines, they came ashore there in that area, and their job was to build what would be the Chu Lai airfield. And it had to be about 8,000 feet for the runway in order to get all the planes landing there. Well, within about 3 weeks, they had done about 3,000 feet to where they could get some of the A4 planes to land there. So they very quickly turned that area from what I'm guessing would probably kind of a swampy area with nothing there to a functioning air base, which was a big part of the Air Force and Marines and so forth, units flying out of there. So, you know, the Seabees, even though they're involved with a lot of the construction aspects, they also did get involved in, sometimes have to be involved in combat. There was even one Seabee in Vietnam who ended up being awarded the Medal of Honor. And if you look at the original UDT members, they were all Seabees. So, and in addition to all that, they were also involved in the Hearts and Minds campaign in Vietnam. They were the ones that were building the schools and drilling the wells, trying to get popular support in Vietnam to, you know, work with the Americans, work with the Australians, working with the South Vietnamese and the South Koreans and so forth. So anyways, you don't see artwork on M65 field coats that often. See, from time to time you'll see the field coats from World War II that might have artwork on them. Of course, you'll see the leather flight jackets with artwork on them, but you just don't see artwork on an M65 field coat like this. And if you do see artwork, it's usually some kind of anti-war thing, something you'd see some hippie looking guy wearing at some rally or something. So this is pretty unique, and I thought it was pretty interesting. And these other pieces were from the same gentleman. I don't know exactly what years he was in Vietnam. And this one here, you know, just a fairly simple shirt. And we see it would have had a tag up here, and it would have said like Asian medium, Asian small. Seems like Asian medium is usually like the most plentiful size that you'll find. This here just a standard ERDL shirt. And this last one here, we see got two pairs of pants. This pair here was a pair of reproductions they had bought recently, and I thought they were pretty good quality. But then you see them next to this gentleman. To me, I think of this as being a gold pattern for a tiger stripe, but also seeing a lot of people calling it like an advisor dense pattern, an advisor sparse pattern. But you can start to see some little differences in the color, but also even just the material. Like the originals here, much softer, you know, and this is of course a little bit stiffer. And you also begin to see, which was quite common, it seemed like, the blacks in the color I don't know if it was some kind of with the hue or the tint, but as they started to fade, they'll start to get this like purplish color to them. So that can be a good sign if you're looking at things and saying, you know, is this an authentic piece, or is this a piece that was a reproduction? If you start to see this kind of purplish fading, that's usually a good sign of something being original. But you know, certainly these pants have seen a lot of wear. You know, some people think that that's better from collecting, because you kind of think like, yeah, you can see them actually wearing these over in Vietnam, and some people like to collect the things that are more pristine condition. I think the wear and tear and the fade helps to tell the story on things. But like I said, in general, you begin to see just some of the overall differences. And I'm not saying that these are like the greatest reproduction, but they give you a fairly good idea. I mean, I thought they did a fairly good job adding, you know, the buttons that are fairly believable to be from that time period, the dish pattern or flat pattern buttons. And that'll about wrap it up on this group of items. I hope you've enjoyed seeing these few items and hearing a little bit about the U.S. Navy Seabees. If you have, I hope that you will like and subscribe, so you'll be able to know when the next video is uploaded. You can also see there's probably close to 50 videos that I've got uploaded on this channel. All the items you see in these videos are all items coming from estate sales and estate auctions. Over 90% of these items are coming directly from the estates. They're not coming from, I'm not going to shows and buying the items and so forth. And as you can tell in the videos, I'm no expert, but I do like to add a little bit of information, try and give a little insight on the items when I can. As always, thanks for watching.